Recording is on.
Let's see here. Just give folks a minute.
Should be live on X.
Live on X.
Yeehaw.
All right, it. We'll do it live. All right. Let's see here. My link's at. Whoop. Okay, dokie. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the BAT Community Call for Tuesday, March 25th, 2025. Hope you all are having a great week so far. It has been extremely busy, but in the good kind of way. We've got a lot going on. Obviously, last week, really cool to see the rewards partner program launch kick off, and great effort from the team here. Many of whom are on this call, in getting a ton of background work on getting all the partners involved, getting all the pieces together, Sherelle's here, she was working on run books, getting asset flows together. We had, people taking calls, people excited about it. And then just a lot of internal work too on getting, posts written up, website updated, all sorts of things like that. And now we're pushing hard into getting the next cohort of partners on, and think folks are going to be pretty stoked on that. But really, it was a great team effort, and appreciate everybody here who helped us get the word out too. It's good. Macro's doing macro things, but we're all continuing the effort of hitting this next stage of BAT utility and getting more of the market into Brave and BAT more out into the market. And I'm super excited for what this brings, and especially just from what we're hearing and seeing too, a lot of folks that are coming back and wanting to do things. It's a different environment right now, despite what the charts are doing, day by day. It is super cool to see this stuff happening. And again, I'm glad you all are here, and great effort from the team on getting that announcement ready. We're also working on having a guest on next week. I'm not going to say specifically who, but we've got some upcoming Zcash stuff that's going to land. So trying to get somebody from over there on to talk a bit about what's going on in Zcash, and also get some folks on from our side to talk about the feature rollout too. So hopefully we do that next week, pending any issues or anything like that, but I think it will be good for next week. I don't know if Jenny's here with the deck or whatever, but let's see. Oh, hey, look at that. Here we go.
It's me today.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Great. How about you? How are you?
Good. Life is good. How are you doing?
I'm glad to hear that. I'm good, thank you.
Excellent.
Okay, should we start?
Yeah, let it rip.
Okay, perfect. Well, hi everyone. Hope you're having a great day. So, just like I said, Jenny is out today, so she couldn't make it. And instead, Godson and I are covering her slides. So, here we go. Okay, so for our weekly X Spaces with Unfungible, for recent events, on March 14th, we did Dead Internet Theory, Should You Be Concerned, with Pandora, Public AI, and Block Agent. Then the next week, on March 21st, we did How Relevant is Social Media for Today's Digital Economy with other awesome guests. And I joined that one, and it was, well, as usual, but this was really good. And so for upcoming spaces, this week on Friday, we have What Web 2 Could Learn from Web 3 with Tricon, Sonar, and Chomp. So it's going to be a good one. Don't miss it. And I'll pass it on to Gutson for the next updates.
All right, I'm gonna try to do my best Jenny impression here. We announced the brand new. Okay, I give up. We announced the brand new Brave Reward 3.0 partner program last week, Wednesday. You can check out the official announcement at brave.com/blog. Our launch partners are Bandits, Bad Chain, Chomp, Decentralized, Guano Coin, Pudgy Pop, and Soul Incinerator. Each brand will be featured in our new rewards offer wall and bring some new, secondary utility for BAT to Brave Reward users and BAT holders. Over the course of the program, you can read all about each partner and their aspirations for the program in the official blog. Next slide, please. Yeah, here we have some casts about the announcement. I was very excited with the rollout last week. Personally, we had a lot of impressions. I didn't do a full tabulation, but across all the tweets and retweets and the translations, shout out to Paula for the Spanish translation. We had about 500,000 impressions on Twitter alone. So, I'm very excited about that. And of course, here you have some visuals about what the partner program is going to look like and, how you're going to be able to interact with it. But, stay tuned for more updates from our official sources. Thank you very much. Next slide, please.
Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a good week. So here's what's been going on with us and the BAT ambassadors. The one form to rule them all by Moonbeamer has had its first use case. I created my own form to get addresses for the BAT ambassador pin we're sending out for season 4, and it turned out we already had it on there, so we're using that instead. I'm creating a reference letter for Nicholas, who did a lot for us in the last couple of years to try and get him a brand ambassador role in New York. Revision noted a mistake on the new tab takeover, we got that fixed. And Techstart has rejoined the program doing Brazilian localizations. He was actually around in season 1, as you can see from his NFT, but we lost him when we switched from the old Discord to the new Discord. So it's good to have him back. And next slide, please. I renamed the We Survived Q1 party to the BAT Spring Festival because I think it sounds just a little bit happier, a little bit less doom laden. We're having a karaoke, Among Us, and poker. I'm doing them. I'm going to be that lion. We've got Scribble with Jenny, GeoGuessr with Guillermo, Jackbox with Dragon Dave, Trivia with the Dave, and more to be announced. So that's going to be running all of Friday with BAT and Guano prizes. I thought it'd be more fun to have something throughout the day rather than just in a 5-hour block, and then everyone around the world can enjoy it because we are an international community.
That's awesome. I love the artwork on that one, by the way.
Oh, yeah, that took me ages, mate. Yeah, I'm joking. It's cheating.
What is Among Us? Am I a boomer? I don't know.
Oh,
holy boomer, Luke. Jeez.
What were you doing during COVID? It's that one with where you're on the spaceship and you have to guess who's the alien.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt.
No worries. And my next one, please. So yeah, now we've got Decentraland on the offer wall. I've been doing a bit of exploration around there. On the left, we've got me by myself in my newer outfit. Someone gifted me a bird for my shoulder. I have not achieved full pelican form yet, but I do have the feet now, and I can fly. I've got a little emote for that. And I've got Drewski to join in. We went down from the top down to the bar underneath there, and we found the Doge, this big Chad Doge. and yeah, good fun.
Where's the other picture? No, just kidding.
What the that one? No, what happened to the
The
metaverse?
blackmail picture.
Huh? What
Your
happened?
blackmail picture for me.
Oh yeah, no. What happened to the metaverse stays in the metaverse. It's like so yeah, like I'm in talks with the community over there to have like I have a walking tour for anyone who's interested. We might be doing that on Friday as well, and there's a rave going on Friday if anyone wants to attend. It's quite a good music scene over there. Anyway, that's everything from me.
I want to start by saying that Luke not knowing Among Us is kind of sus.
It's very sus.
Very sus.
I self-admit my susness on that one. It also could be that I'm half brain dead at this point, but you know, whatever. You know, you guys know what you're getting with me. Like, yeah. Anyway.
And I'm very happy that you like the poster for the event that we're having Friday. I made that one specially for you, and in case you don't notice, it is having the same clothes that Andreas Thompson has on Fear and Loathing. So I just thought it was a cool detail.
All right, I love it.
This is just another gag that I wanted to include, and I hope Nikki doesn't get upset on. But this is one image that I wanted to run on New Tab Takeover. However, it features a shirtless man, and that's a no-no. And I thought it was pretty funny, so I just wanted to show that. Next slide, please.
Hey, that's all right. Maybe I'll make it my profile banner or something.
So Echo 4 coming on the 1st of April. I just thought it would be a fun date. It's usually a date where we cannot play too much with because of legal. We cannot legally lie. So I thought we'd go the Rick and Morty route, which is to release it on the 1st of April. And if people think it's a gag, they're going to be surprised that we actually did it. The new tab takeovers are going to be running on the 4th. There's plenty of articles, plenty of written articles, and plenty of cool artworks. And I really hope you enjoy this one. It's not yet finished, as you can see, but I'll make sure that we'll have it finalized around Friday. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks. Last week we sent Stan the Man to the Catholic University of East Africa. At this point, we should start calling it the Brave University of East Africa. They keep, calling him back. This was a smaller engagement. Essentially, he just had the time on the 21st to just kind of go through some of the stuff that we are working on at the moment. So he went over Brave Rewards, the 3.0 roadmap. He also managed to get some new signups on the block survey. He said that there was a lot of excitement from the students, basically, because there's a new sort of tap to earn economy, and this is a lot more logical, I would say, with Brave Rewards and stuff. So he did express some reservation when it comes to Discord. Basically, having people actually join the Discord is a little bit difficult. I'm not entirely sure what the problem is, but that's kind of why we made the Telegram and stuff. It's a bit like a Discord Lite, just for people who have I don't know, people who don't have as much data or space on their device or whatever, to kind of stay tapped in with the community. But yeah, next week we should see some more action coming out of the continent. But at the moment, we're relying on Stan as usual. So yeah, thank you. That's me.
Drew, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. So, sorry. So, yeah, just a few updates on my end. So, as it's been said, we've got the new rewards program rolling out, and this week I believe it was yesterday actually, or maybe it was, I don't know, I can't keep the days straight anymore. Yeah, it must have been yesterday because today's Tuesday. The first new tab takeovers were rolled out with the Pudgy Pop and Karate Combat. And I think there was a Chomp one as well. Yes, yesterday that rotated through. That's rolling out. So we'll have other partners that are in the rewards program coming soon once they, get their artwork together and we get it added into the system, and those will start getting rotated in as well. So starting to see the fruits of that already. So it's kind of cool to see it all kind of coming together. Next little update is on the Batcave with Guano Coin. There's just under 190,000 bat locked up in the Batcaves. It's right around $30,000 value. So it's slowly but surely accumulating more and more bat feces, aka guano, in the Batcaves, loading the cave indeed. So, and then last week we started a March Madness bracket competition, and the first 2 rounds are done, and then the next couple of rounds will start later this week on Thursday. So just be on the lookout for winners and stuff like that on that coming for the different rounds. If you're not in the Discord, then get in the Discord and join that. Yeah, that's basically my updates for the week.
Thank
Yes,
you.
the NCAA tourney, Harold. If you didn't get in, obviously it's a little late now, but there's always next year, I guess.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And now for my additional community updates. We keep creating and localizing posts on the Balatam account on X. And last week, with the launch of the Brave Rewards 3.0 partner program, I localized the post from the BAT account into Spanish. I hope we can localize the entire blog post that's in the website in Spanish as well. But in the meantime, if you're a Spanish speaker, go check that out. And then last week I had a call with the Bad Mexico team to discuss their community work, their engagement on social media, events for this year, basically opportunities for them to help. And so there are 2 big upcoming events in which they have already participated representing Brave, which are Talentland and ETH Cinco de Mayo. So we'll see what we can do to make that possible with them. And I'll have an additional follow-up call with Donatello later this week. But yeah, I'll keep you posted about that. And also the Back Community Call summary number 44, which is the one from last week, is in progress. And it'll be published today in Notion. And number 45 from today will be ready before next week's Back Community Call. And this is just a reminder about the summaries we have published. You can always find them in our Notion, and every time we publish, maybe every 2 or 3 summaries, but once we do, we'll be posting it on Telegram, X, and Discord. So please don't miss them. And now for the highlights of the week, I wanted to give a special shout out to Andrei Karpathy. I'm so sorry if I'm saying that wrong. And yeah, I wanted to give him a special shout out for highlighting and recommending the Brave browser and Brave search specifically for recommendations for privacy on his blog and post on X. We really, really appreciate that. And another special shout out to, again, I apologize if I mispronounce this, Jaso215 for also recommending Brave to blog ads, trackers, and malware. Love to see it. And that's all from us today. Thank you so much for listening.
Pretty sure it's Jaso215.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm
It
just
wasn't that
kidding.
bad.
Yeah, the 215 is completely wrong. No, I'm just kidding. I think you're right.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good job.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, good job filling in. That was well done. Yeah, and I know that Battern, man, like, how is Decentraland? I haven't been over there yet. I need to go over there. We're working on getting them in the offer wall. But what's the vibe like? I haven't been there since.
It's pretty quiet. I'm not going to lie. We're not in the 2021 like fever dream anymore. But as someone who spent some time in those kind of places, it's actually functional now. It's not like just a gimmick. It just needs the players, man.
Nice.
It's free to get in. You just it's not in a web browser anymore, so you do have to download a client. It runs on Windows. It runs on the M series Macs. Graphics are nice. You don't even actually need to make a wallet or sign in with anything web-free. You can sign in with your Apple. You can sign in with your Facebook. I've personally signed in with my X account, and it gives you a wallet on the back end. And I think you can like export your seed phrase afterwards. But there's something going on there like pretty much every day. So it's meant to make an account, pop on in, and yeah, everyone's really
You
friendly.
say like they've got like musicians and stuff, or like DJs or something.
Yeah, like I'd post a link, but I'm on my I'm streaming, so I don't want to click anything. I'm just like, if I don't press anything, at no point is my name going to show up, no point any tabs going to show up. I'll just occasionally click my voice on and off. But yeah, there's a big gig going on this Friday with a bunch of people playing. They had like one the other day where it was like they just went from place to place to place. No, it's just I don't know if you're in the era of me where you grew up in like different chat rooms, like different themes and stuff, and it's just
I love that. Yeah,
it's just a big ass chat room, but you can dress up however you like instead of just being called having a name.
That's cool. I know they're doing stuff like they're doing like a fashion week thing and some other stuff like that's coming up. And yeah, we're thinking of ways that we can incorporate more stuff with them too, like as part of the program and things like that. So it's awesome to see folks getting involved there. Maybe we'll do some stuff over there too. I'm going to have somebody from their side on the podcast too.
Good.
Should be pretty good. And then so I think it'll be. I'm gonna go give them a spin. Drew.
I was going to say one quick thing. I think if we could drive the muses, it's going to be the best showcase of the offer wall we could have.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's awesome. And the cool thing about them is they've been around for a while, and you're saying, stuff's actually working. Which is super cool. And I know they've been big. Like when we were talking to them too, they're like, look, like we don't do a ton of, commercial type deals and things like that. Like they try to keep it organic and stuff like that. So, let's see, we can help them with driving some folks in.
Yeah, maybe now's a good time to jump in,
It's always a good time, Drew.
No, but as far as Decentraland, I mean, since things are a little slow right now, maybe that's what a good time is to get in. But I was gonna say, speaking of the podcast, I just happened to see the Brave post of the latest podcast. I think it was with someone from Hyatt or something. And dude, you're looking super skinny. Like you're starting to look like ill skinny almost. But yeah, congrats.
I'm fasting. I'm fasting until Bat hits 40. That's when I can eat again.
I hope you got enough left in the tank there, man.
Hey, man.
Or it gets to 40 quick. But yeah, what's the routine, Luke? Inquiring minds want to know, aka Godson, because he's not only bald, but he's fat.
Well, I mean, starving my way to 40 while being 40 ish or early 40. And no, I think it's pretty simple. You just the less pretty simple formula. If I don't stuff my fat face as much, and then I do more things, you end up losing weight, which is fantastic, but yeah, it's one of those things where I don't know, like a lot of cutting down portions and stuff, and I did some fasting too, and trying to kind of break cycles with eating and whatnot, but yeah, it happens, man.
Yeah, so just keeping it straightforward. Just keeping it simple. And yeah, I can say that, Gossip, because I'm bald and fat too. So
Hey, wow.
I don't even know where to begin. I don't even know where to begin. I still have the picture from what was it, Austin?
Yeah.
oh yeah, a
Yeah.
couple years ago, yeah.
If I posted it now, like Luke would look nothing like he did in that picture.
It's happening, man. Yeah, I mean, hunger strikes until 40. It happens, but also, I mean, like, just go do more things, like play golf, like, do stuff, and just try to stay healthier, man. I actually, like, I don't really talk about this stuff very much, but, like, I had a couple of friends passed away last year, and unexpectedly, it was one of those things where, a mix of that and having a couple kids, you kind of start to look at things a little bit differently, and hey, maybe I'm young enough to where if I make some changes for the positive, I can make sure I'm around for the kiddos, you know what I mean? And
Yeah, for
whatnot, but those things kind of, they're life moments of awakening, or whatever. But
sure. Good deal.
yeah. So also, yeah, like golf is like an addiction kind of thing, but you just try to find a 9-hole course near your house and squeeze away every once in a while. But it's good times. But yeah, no, it's I appreciate the ask. It's kind of weird. What else you guys want to talk about? Like I think that, but about the podcast, like, it was super cool. We went to New York for AI Summit last year, and like it was actually pretty neat because we ended up getting some customers on with ads and a couple of things like from those podcasts, and I'm actually looking at it from a little bit of a different lens too, because we were releasing those through this thing called Libsyn, which if you watch it or through different podcast players, it kind of distributes to there. But then our producer Sam, she was actually like Spotify started doing like video on Spotify, and so she started putting video there, and then on YouTube too, and the YouTube part's actually pretty interesting. So I've been looking at the data from that, and what we're seeing is like there's a big subscriber increases that we're getting by putting the podcast stuff on there. So I think we might put the back catalog on there, but the nice thing is, like, the more subscribers we get, whenever we post any video content, like it automatically kind of goes to the subscribers. And so we're kind of looking at different ways we can leverage YouTube to grow Brave. So, I think that the podcast is one of those ways where every little bit helps with this stuff. And we're getting out there. Like, I'm going to be on a couple other podcasts in a couple of weeks. I'm not going to jinx it by giving it away now, but some effort going on to get some higher profile stuff going. So knock on wood. But we'll see what we can do there. Got to get the word out. If we're not getting the word out, we're not getting the word out. You know what I mean? And then we also got some interesting results too. I don't know if you guys remember, Sleepagachi was one of those NTTs we recently ran. And part of that, we were going to do a case study with them and saw some interesting stuff, which I think might be indicative of broader sentiment changes. But one thing that they were surprised to see, and maybe I'll get Angelina to like come on and show some of the data, but they were saying like we were beating out their KOLs on like demand gen with the NTT, which was super cool. And the feedback we got on that on X was really great, like from people seeing it and liking it. And so I think there's like something kind of a moment happening right now where if you look at like what's been going on with meme coins and Libra and all these kind of, a lot of that KOL driven, marketing is leaving kind of people are looking for other ways they can market. And the timing of the program that we're doing is pretty good because if we can show some of this data for how we're like actually beating out some of the KOL stuff that's going on, it could be good for driving people in. Because right now there's just like this, people want to know what they can do with crypto that's real, and so the program's kind of designed to help give real products some attention, and then also if we can do it at the right time, like right now, where sentiment's changing a little bit, we'll see what happens. But interesting stuff. But all right, I can open it up for other folks, other things you guys want to talk about. Anything? Godson, what's up, my man?
Hey, yeah, thanks. I figured this is a complete wild card, but I figured, if I don't say it, no one else might. A lot of people hold our bat. They're very excited about it. They love, the token, but there's not as much activity to satiate certain people, or to drive enough attention and volume into the project. And I was kind of talking about this last week with someone, and it occurred to me that maybe we should consider, and I know this is not actually going to happen, but I just said, let me throw it out there. Maybe we should consider going L1, right? And this would be good because of course it'll drive a lot of excitement and engagement and stuff, but it would also give us a chain that's pretty cheap to transact on. That might be very useful for all our self-custody aspirations and stuff like that. It's just an idea I had, and I know it'll be very difficult to implement, so it's not very likely. But I said that let me say it anyway.
No, I mean, I think it's an interesting idea, and it's come up we talked with some folks, someone from our board brought it up a while ago too, and I think that there's a couple of different things. One, there's a lot of crowding with networks right now, and things are pretty tribal, right? Swaying adoption for these things is kind of tricky. But two, do we want? I mean, if you look at how I don't by L1, do you mean us doing an L2 or our own complete chain?
Own complete chain is probably not a good idea. I was thinking an L2, yeah, most likely. An L2 maybe on Ethereum or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting thought. Some of these things though, okay, assuming the risk on bridging and stuff is kind of tricky, or there's just crowding, right? So you're dealing with there's 100 L2s now, right? And some of that's kind of difficult, but also there's kind of a bigger picture thing around what's the attention economy going to look like with Web3, and how is the transaction adoption going to end up getting rolled out? And I think that there's something to be said about doing our own chain, but there's also something about having that versatility to go beyond a single chain too. That it's tricky in the space because everybody wants to declare victory way before things are even declarable. You know what I mean? And so it's yeah, I think it's not in the immediate future or something like that. Maybe if there's progress on interop and we see some movement on how it makes sense to decentralize these things too, because that's really the other piece to this that nobody really ever wants to talk about is look, if you can corrupt enough people on a multi-sig, right, for a bridge, you can basically have the funds of the network, which is, and everyone's, oh, this is escape hatch, whatever. It's dude, come on. So I think there's some bigger things at play, before we consider something like that. But it's an interesting thought, and it's definitely come up, and it's not something. It's just I don't know. We're in a weird spot with adoption too. The jury's kind of out on what the future is going to really look like, I think. But also just a huge task to get all that stuff together.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think it's necessarily feasible. It is just an interesting thought. For the most part, I think Buy on Sold works well enough. But it was just a thought, especially like from a pumponomics side of things,
Yeah,
but I was,
totally. Well, and that's where like bad chain stuff with Bandit's been interesting too, because they've been thinking about ways they could work that into the tokenomics of what they've got going too. And I think we're open to exploring different ways with, especially now with tokenomic models for BAT that we could apply out there. It's it really is so damn tribal. I wish it wasn't too, because I feel like it hinders a lot of adoption. But even like with what we're seeing, I mean, like on Solana, it's been awesome. Like we've gotten up to 21,000 holders or whatever. But also, as part of you kind of wonders, like, okay, what's the take rate like if we do this on EVM too, or do it on another thing? And like, because there's such a, I don't know, it's honestly, it's kind of frustrating when you think about like what's changed in the past couple of months and like how people are so stuck in their tribal stuff, with the broader space. Like, can we just like move the ball forward now that we've got some headroom instead of having people fight over Ethereum or Solana or whatever, but it's really like a sticking point for a lot of people. And so I don't know. I also see cool stuff that's happening right now. Like if you look at the near intents are pretty awesome. Like some of this multi-chain bridging and stuff like that, where we're actually looking at, because I was seeing Zuko had tweeted out how he's able to like swap ETH into Zcash, like, pretty easily. Like, and I know like you guys have got some interesting stuff with variant stuff that's pretty awesome too, that we should be looking at as well, like on ways to do like multi-chain dexing and order books and stuff and things like that. So I don't know. I think like let's see what happens with the program and with the different BAT utility streams and kind of like play it by ear a bit.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, hell yeah, it's great. Cripple Resistance, man, how's it going?
But how are you?
Doing well. Always good to see you.
Yes, you do. And I hope you do. I hope you do a lot of push-ups too.
I'm trying, man. Like, I'm actually doing some physical therapy stuff that's been helping out on that front.
Okay, kick some ass.
I love it.
Anyway, do you see any legal blowback from Brave's legal challenges?
For some of the stuff that's in the news.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you asked. I mean, like, officially, we can't really comment on the stuff that's the News Corp thing, and so I can't really go into detail on that because it's a legal thing, and the stuff that's basically what you're seeing in the press is commentary from the company on those things is as far as I can go on that. I think, I unfortunately can't get any deeper than that because it's a legal thing. But it's not slowing anything down. I can say that pretty confidently.
So you don't see it affecting any of the other advertising relationships?
Yeah, no, nothing like that. And it's one of those things where, I'm not even going to comment. I'm not seeing any. It's not slowing us down. Everybody's working on moving forward with everything without. And basically, to the specifics of the matter, like we're not able to comment on any of that right now because it's a legal thing. But I mean, it is interesting to see it happening. Yeah, I'm just not going to go any deeper on that for because I've been told not to, and I don't want to put my foot in my mouth on that one.
I understand. That's why I was trying to
I'm glad you asked though, because I know people have been wondering because it was I think Reuters wrote about it and stuff, and it's not these kinds of things are happening with others aside from Brave as well, and so it's anytime you have new technology that you're innovating and we're growing, right? Like these types of things will happen, and yeah, that's all I can really say about it.
Oh, plus Reuters, they kind of put a negative spin to it. I'm brave, that's the other thing. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I get that. I unfortunately can't comment on the legal part, but
Yeah, I
it
know.
always comes down to first principles, right? Like Brave is not changing on our position on being a user first platform, and that means your client and building for users. And yeah, I mean, it's actually like working on getting out there more to kind of bring that message, because we're seeing a bunch of interesting things happening right now where I don't know if you guys saw this. It was I tweeted about it a bunch on I think a Thursday or Friday last week. The head of Publicis agency gave this really just creepy presentation about about how they profile users. They bought Lotami, like a data profiling broker company. And he went into detail, like all of the touch points and records and habits and behaviors that they do. For an example use case of this woman, basically, who they're like, we know what she's buying, we know what she looks for, we know what she reads online, we know that she's paying this much more for groceries, and all this like super creepy stuff. And it's just like, this is in Europe, right? Like, and they have the most severe not severe, but they have the strongest privacy regulations in the world. And despite that, we see the head of one of the biggest advertising agencies, holding companies on the planet, giving this presentation that is out of a dystopian nightmare, where, people worry about, they're basically profiling. And the thing that's really alarming about it is that this isn't anything new. This has been happening for over a decade now. And so one thing I'm really kind of emphasizing, and I'm trying to do more appearances where I can talk about this with people, is like, look, if the data regulators with the strongest mandate and regulation on the books are not able to prevent something like that from happening, and politicians are not going to save you. Like big tech is only getting worse with this stuff. It's really comes down to like, you've got to take action yourself to like kind of protect your own privacy and protect your family, because these things are only going to get more sophisticated. And the fact that this guy could give this presentation in 2025, like, look back at what's happened, right? Like, Google has said they're going to walk back. They're going to get rid of third-party cookies. That's gone. They're doubling down on it. They had fingerprinting protection. They got rid of that. Like, everybody's kind of bunkering down with what's happening. And at the same time, we're growing faster than we've grown to a bigger level than we are. But it's still like, you've got to take it on yourself to take action and protect yourself and your family from what these companies are doing. They're just putting it in front of your face now. I mean, like, it's really creepy stuff that's out there. And I think that, if their industry is that tone deaf to it, it's an opportunity for us to get out there and get really loud about this. And so I'm trying to do it just to put it out there. Like, I'm hitting up different podcasts and lots of stuff to kind of get the word out. And BAT's obviously a part of that narrative, right? Because if we can flip the script and build user first tech for people and that protects them, then we can also flip the other paradigm and show people how, like, this can go from an extractive attention economy into one where you're earning with it, that's productive and safe. And I just saw this thing. It was just the fucking creepiest thing. Presentation. I just couldn't believe I was seeing it. But I used to do this stuff before I came to Brave. Like this was bread and butter. Like, what way can you think about getting data in a way that isn't being commonly done because it's an edge? Yeah, it's pretty bad to see this. I mean, as far as conviction goes, it also kind of lights a fire because you've never been as like motivated to continue with what we're doing here and get the word out more and more. And seeing some of the stuff that's coming online, like like the Zcash integration work and shielded stuff. Like there's never been a more urgent time like to really double down on the fundamentals where it matters. And private transactions, private browsing, like all this stuff is super important. Ways that we can make this stuff work together is even better. So anyway, I know that was a really long-winded answer to a non-answer that I couldn't provide to your original question, but appreciate you asking it.
Hey, thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. So who else? Anybody else have any questions or anything you want to talk about? All right. Lukash says, I think people want different chains. I know. I think they do too. It's interesting. C-Ray, what's up, my man?
Hey, not much. Random question here out of the ballpark. We know Brave starts off as kind of a privacy browser.
Mm-hmm.
For a time, it's picking up and trying to adopt and push more to Web3, but still keep its identity as privacy. Is there a time that we're going to start balancing a lot more on the word just right there in front of me. Convenience, that will also balance out the convenience. Like right now, a lot of people complain about for VPN accounts, how difficult it is to manage, especially like if they're on Android, they have to do through Google Play, then they have to create a Brave account and they have to link that for their desktop. Everything's like multiple steps. And even when trying to like log in, we have to put in an email, have that come in, click on a link, and then do other stuff. Nothing's easy. Is there any change to that here in the future?
Yeah. So no, there's some stuff that's underway around like making those steps easier. It is something we need to balance out for sure. And there were just some initial issues. This probably more than anybody from dealing with people reporting this where I deactivated. Why am I still getting like table stake stuff that was broken for a while that's now fixed? And I know the premium team's looking at ways to make these things easier. And I agree. I mean, it's got to get easier. And so there's work going into that. The convenience, realistically, like we're not going to be able to take more market share if the convenience isn't a big part of this. And actually, like we get pushback too, like from. I mean, I was in a thread the other day where like I was saying something like there's no like freedom without privacy, and someone says, well, there's no telemetry is no privacy or something like that, where it's like, what are you talking about? Like, there are ways like cryptography exists and privacy researchers have been building in ways to report on these things, but like the convenience part like is so important. And the way you get to convenience is by knowing like what the hell's going on, right? Like, and I'm not saying like tracking people. I'm saying like making sure you're not like losing a user halfway through the process. And it doesn't have to be specifically one person, but knowing that the process is functional, right? Like, and so these things have to kind of work together. And that's why like our team put a ton of effort in, and this probably translates to why there are some of the issues that there are now, is because like for a long time it was like, look, when you want to make something work with privacy, you kind of, if it's not already existing, you've got to kind of reinvent the wheel a little bit. And then once it's there, you can use it for other things. But a lot of time was invested into solving the privacy problems or getting them to a solution first. And now we are hitting this phase where it's like, cool, how can we bundle these things? How can we make the logins easier? Also, we're talking with prospective partners around like, what are better login methods we could use that could potentially like, make all of this a lot easier, and managing things across different networks and profiles and stuff a lot easier. So it's definitely, as we get larger, it becomes an even more important priority. And there's this really, we have to, it's never a question of like, are we going to give up privacy for convenience? It's always going to be a matter of how do we make privacy and convenience work better together? And a lot of the stuff, we get a lot of flack from the privacy community, like around some of the things that don't work in expected ways, like tests and stuff like that, because of some of the ways that we've had to innovate to make things work better. So like, if you look at what I think Pete Snyder and what the privacy research team put out around farbling and some of the ways that they made changes that make for better privacy and better web compatibility, those changes caused a lot of the privacy tests to function, make it look like we were weaker than we actually were, when in reality, it was like we tackled the problem from a different way. And we had to, because you're not going to get improvement in convenience by attacking something with a sledgehammer, right? Like, and the problem with the mindset is that like a lot of like hardcore privacy advocates are like, look, like if it's not this way, it's not as private. And in reality, that's not necessarily the case, right? So there's all these things to consider, but you're absolutely right. Like, we have to focus on convenience, and you're not going to get to like, we would never have gotten to a line of sight of 100 million monthly active users without doing this. And what we've seen others do, like, Firefox, et cetera, is like have more lax privacy to get to the levels they've gotten. But we've been able to maintain really strong privacy while building in better ways to get there, that have helped us to grow. And if we want to hit that next level, it's got to get easier. Like, it's got to be, you shouldn't even have to think about the login process, right? Like if we're competing with a Nord or another a VPN solution that's matured in the market, and so your point, yeah, I mean, like, to it, I think there's a lot of PM work focusing on how can we, a lot of it over the past 6 months has been like, how do we fix the broken stuff? And candidly, like, they put a ton of work into that, right? And now it's like, how can we make it more efficient? How can we make it more convenient? But I think also, and we got a preview of this on our all hands call last week, but some of the stuff will start to leak. There are ways that we can also get Leo to work as an agent for the user to make things even more convenient for people that aren't as obvious, right? And so there's some pretty interesting things on the horizon with how we can incorporate AI into the browser as an agent that helps to make things more convenient or do tasks for you or stuff like that. It's really kind of greenfield area, and one where we're really well positioned to kind of dig in. And from my perspective, we're thinking about that in different ways of like, how can we make AI work to help onboard people into Web3, or like, how can you offload certain pieces of this to an AI agent, and make that work? But also like just basic stuff like, okay, cool, there's a dumb thing I do manually every day. Like, what can I do to like have an agent help me with that in the browser or whatever, and so there's a whole new world of things that are opening up with agentic AI that we're going to be able to tap into with Leo and the browser. And sometimes it's got to be crude in the beginning to get better and more convenient over time. So hope that helps.
Yeah, no, it sounds good. I guess all I was saying is, yeah, I do hope that we can tweak things like sync to be able to have it, instead of it being the daily expiring code and having to be the 25 words or whatever it is right now.
Yeah.
that stuff. And then, like we said, instead of having an individual account for creators and premium and community and whatever else, it would be nice just to have that all centralized more if possible,
Yeah.
or at least a name and username and password,
Even having like your wallet be part of the sync, right? Where, okay, cool. Like my desktop and mobile are connected. I can transact from the same thing. There's so many things like that need to get simplified. And the thing that's great is like, these things used to feel like they were miles away, like from an implementation perspective. And now we're getting closer and closer to this becoming like a reality. And the teams are working on some pretty cool ways that we can do this without having to, compromise on the privacy side in ways that people have had to do it before. Because like our biggest thing is like, dude, we don't want to know who the user is. And it provides an interesting problem set to have to address. But you're totally right, dude. Like the unified login, right? Like, why can't we do that, right? Like if you have a wallet, like, cool, like everything can be on the client, and you should be able to have kind of autonomy to run from device to device with the right set of keys to get everything working for you. And yeah, I think, we're not far away from that becoming, an adopted norm. And I think the timing's super interesting for it. But yeah, I think Godson was saying like, it is, I mean, 100 million MAUs, pretty wild. And the fact that like Brendan's talking about that being, end of the year goal, and that's before we're even seeing some of the things that might help accelerate that. I remember, I mean, dude, people were like laughing at the idea that people cared about this stuff when I first joined this company. And now we're almost at 100 million monthly active users. It's a pretty awesome testament. And, there's no doubt without you all here, it would have taken a lot longer to make that happen. So, I appreciate it, man. And, guys, we got 3 more, any more ideas on pay with bet? Yeah. So, we actually had a good call with one of the with the Helio folks, actually, because some of the partners we're talking to have them implemented, the team's pretty close on our end with the premium version, but also we tuned the Helio folks into what we're doing with the program, and they've got some folks they want to intro us into too. So hopefully we'll get a whole slew of pay with bat stuff in the program in the next month or two. So exciting stuff for them on the horizon. Any improvements for self-serve ads? Yeah. So on any improvements on self-serve ads, last I heard, it's not an easy process. So yeah, there actually has been quite a few improvements on that front. I had Dan Murphy's on my team. Actually, like, I think he's been on some of these calls before, but I had him doing a bunch of interviews with self-serve customers. I think he did about 12 or 13 of them. And we were looking for low-hanging fruit, and it was people that had renewed, people that hadn't renewed, people that were current customers, and really trying to kind of get that feedback on what they needed. And they've been working in getting additional things in the hopper with that. And then there's been some improvements too that to NTT stuff. We're hoping to integrate that into self-serve so that that can be an option for users too. And yeah, so there's been some progress there. And over time, a lot of small, like, incremental improvements there. But they also added in account level billing, which is something we were missing. That was like pretty table stakes. Before, you'd have to go in and pay for things one campaign at a time. And the team actually worked to implement the ability to just top up an account level and then deploy campaigns from that, which is table stakes like everywhere else. So we're making our way there. It's been works in progress. So, and we're just about the top of the hour. So, I appreciate you all joining today for the community call. We'll be back at the same time, same bat channel next week, next Tuesday. Until then, have a great week. I'll see you all online, and stay batty, folks. Have a good one.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Take care.
All right.
Good job filling in for Jenny, you guys.
All right.
Bye
Oh yeah. Bye bye, you guys.
bye.